Right, I've completed all of the rounds now. I've just finished round 59. And we're ready to sort of finish the top of the bag, which is lovely. Now you'll see I've made 2 lots of eyelets here. And if you were anything at all like me and don't read the pattern, you will have gone, that doesn't look anything like the picture, and still not bother to read forward in the pattern. Don't be like me, read the pattern. I'll tell you another example of why you should do that shortly. But the reason it doesn't look like the picture is because what you're going to do is actually fold that band in half. So you're going to fold it back into the bag, okay, and that will create a really nice reinforced top, which will draw in nicely when you're using your drawstring cords that you're going to make next. So that is why on your picture it shows 1 eyelet, but in reality clever Kate has reinforced that for us because she's also tremendously good at practical designing rather as well as aesthetic designing. So what you're going to do to prepare for this last bit is, like I said, you're going to fold it back into the bag with the eyelets lining up. So I don't know if you can, I'll put my hook right through there. So my hook's going right through the eyelet there. So you line them up and pop in a pin to keep it sort of secured in place. What will happen as you work around the bag, the kind of natural line of the stitches which are sitting across the top will help you out, so it doesn't take, you know, there's no grappling with it. It will fold quite naturally, but you just need to give it a little pin so that it's kind of easier for you to work. Right, so last pin going in now, and when I look round, like I said, I can see the sort of natural line of the third row of stitches above my eyelet is kind of forming the edge of the bag now, so that's great. Now in order to secure it like that, we're going to use this lovely decorative top stitching that we've used before all the way up the bag. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you and those who have perhaps watched the video about making the eyelets may have noticed on that video that I'd already done this top stitching. You'd be absolutely correct, and it is another reason why don't be like me. Please read the pattern. I had put a layer of top stitching in there, and of course I had to take it out because I was premature and showing off, and I shouldn't have done it, because that top stitching is actually going to hold those 2 layers together, and we aren't asked to do it until now, so that will just teach me, won't it? That'll teach me for trying to get ahead of myself. Right, so we're working with the cream yarn, and I've got this much left from completing the project, so hopefully you've got a comparable amount. And I'm going to start by putting my hook through the sort of first-ish stitch of the round, and it's going to go all the way through, and on the back I want it to come out also 1 stitch up from the edge. So if you can see, it's coming out 1 stitch up from the edge, it's going in 1 stitch up from the edge. That's the sort of line that I need to try and maintain all the way around. Now from this point onwards, we're working the top stitching in exactly the same way as we have before, except we're working through the 2 layers. I don't know if I've already said that. Apologies if I'm repeating myself. So I've pulled through a loop. I'm going to leave that tail long because I sort of find at the beginning I tend to sort of pull that tail through a little bit. So I'm going to leave it long, put my hook through the next space and turn over to the back and find the next space. You might find this takes you longer than the other sets of top stitching have taken you. That's not a problem. Nice finish is important, so take your time working around. I've just plucked that there, haven't I? Working around, whoops, the top edge, or the bottom of the top edge if you like, making sure you're positioning your hook in the right way as you go around, and that's all you're going to do all the way around. I'm just going to do a few more so you can see how it's holding. Just be careful of your pins, I'll just say that again. Whoops. Sort of 3 or 4 things to keep your eye on here, so it is going to be a little bit slower, but that's okay. Let's just try and get this one done so we can have a little look. Oh, goodness, it's really fighting me, isn't it? There we go. Is that? No, I've split it again. Unbelievable. There, that'll do for now. Right, so if you can see that the top stitching looks identical to how it has, you know, as we've been working it up and down the project. But when I turn it over, on the back, again, exactly as we've worked it previously, but it is holding those, that fold, it's holding that nice and securely. And that is what you want from that top stitching of that top edge. So I'm going to go around and complete it and just show you it when it's done. Right, it is complete all the way around, as you can see. And I've fastened it off just like I did on the regular top stitching. And if we look inside, lovely, so neat and lovely. What a nice way to finish it off. And of course you can see it's completely secure there now. So that's all you need to do to finish the top of the bag.